Jeffrey works a 9-to-5 job and wants to escape the rat race. He's so motivated to make millions that he daydreams through his entire work shift. But by the time he comes home, he's too tired to work on his side hustle, so he ends up watching Netflix, fapping, and playing video games, activating the deep voice. Adonis. Adonis doesn't use puny human currency. He barters for the goods and services that he needs. Because Adonis is an incredibly skilled man, he lives a rich life. Here is the equation to make more money than everyone else: value times scale. And I know that your parents want you to go to university, get a degree, and be a doctor, but you can just tell your parents that Hamza said, "Shut up, Papa!" Whilst everyone is investing their time in the education system and going for basic careers, we're going to get you leveling up the one most important skill to make you rich. My name is Hamza. I help young men through the Jeffrey to Adonis transformation through self-improvement. Scroll down right now, click on the subscribe and the post notification button. It's a win-win for both of us. The most important skill set by far is social skills. Now, specifically inside of social skills, you need persuasion. Persuasion is the skill of getting people to say yes to you. Now, you want the secret of getting rich? You literally just need thousands of people to say yes. Getting rich is not hard at all. You just need the right blueprints. And the issue is that you've been handed down the wrong blueprints by broke people like your parents and your teachers. It never even occurred to me that the standard 9-to-5 job, working a, job that you don't like and you live in for the weekends but you kind of hate life anyway, it never occurred to me that that was actually reality for a lot of people. Because in high school, when people are studying, I didn't really have a dream. Like, honestly, I didn't have a dream. I didn't think, I didn't even know what the jobs were. I'm not gonna lie. If you ask me about jobs, how are you gonna make money, straight away my mind would think like, yeah, probably go to the Grand Exchange and maybe do some flipping. If I can buy this item like 5% lower, 5% higher, maybe I'll do like some Slayer, kill some green dragons are always a safe bet. I was in such a virtual world addiction that I never even thought about the possibility of having to work like a job IRL. And in college, exactly the same thing, but at least the difference now was that YouTube honestly was the thing for me. And I have never really seen it like a job because the process of it is just something that I goof around with. And in university, I was just a boy idiot. I just got drunk, took drugs, slept with girls. And so that was like pretty nice. But I graduated with a degree and I was eligible for the same jobs after uni as I was before uni. And so I started applying for those jobs. And even though, I was just about eligible for them, like, they were truly beneath me. If that's kind of like, egotistical to say, but it's like the truth, let's be honest. And so I'm applying for these jobs, I'm going to these interviews, I'm working these jobs, and I'm actually like struck with this realization, looking around me like, yo, like you mother like dead ass work 9-to-5. Like, when's our summer break? Like, when do we get 3 months off for summer? Well, yeah, it's like, it's almost Christmas. It's like the 10th of December. Aren't we off soon? And they're all looking at me weird. Like, what? Like, yeah, oh no, don't worry, Hamza. This Christmas, we get 3 days off. So this life was pretty strange to me. It was about this time that I invested into 2 books, which truly changed my mindset about money. And I know at this point right now, if you're a broke ass motherfucker, I know that a lot of what I say in a lot of like these books will almost seem like scammy because it's just so unrealistic for you to really think that someone's making this much money. As the same attitude of guys who are very sexually deprived, who then hear the stories of guys who have had an abundance of sex with women. And so if these videos and this topic makes you feel a bit weird and you're thinking, wait, no, Hamza's lying, like the stuff I've got to tell you of how to hack money, and in these books as well, where motherfuckers are talking about, yeah, like I make like X amount per month, 10,000, 40,000, 50,000, 100,000. It's like a couple of years ago I was looking at that, I was like, no you don't, why are you lying? So I read 2 books on entrepreneurship. We won't go into so much detail because I've just mentioned them on a different video, but those were The 4-Hour Work Week and The Millionaire Fast Lane. I highly recommend if you're into this idea of not wanting to be like a 9-to-5 worker and you want to explode your wealth and you just don't want to live like a very like 99%er's life. I highly recommend you get these 2 books and you invest your time into them. I still have The 4-Hour Work Week behind me. I believe it is like the first book that I properly bought and read. It's still the same like copy that I have and I've read it 3-4 times now. And so what's life like now? So about 2 years ago, I was making £8.41 per hour. So I'd wake up at 5 a.m, get ready, go to work and go to the gym inside of work, and then, you know, do my work shift in work for like 9 hours, 1 hour unpaid lunch break, come home at about 6, smoke weed, pass out, hate my life, hoping that I don't have to go to work tomorrow, but of course I do, and just kind of do it all over again. And a lot of the times in the morning I'd feel, you know, motivated, I've got my music in, I'm going to work, I know that I'm going to be smashing the gym and everything. On the way back, knowing that I had about 2 hours of like free time and I had just traded my entire day for £64. Bro, I used to cry. Like that, I'm just gonna be honest to you. I still remember the specific spot where I'd always burst into tears because it was pitch black. It was kind of like a shortcut where there was like no lights or anything, so I used to use that as my opportunity to just cry for like a couple of seconds and wipe it up quick before I got back inside the apartment with my girlfriend. I remember having this dread of not knowing how people coped with it. Like, I know it's so stereotypical to say, like, you know, you dreaded Monday, but that was like my feeling, like literally every day going to sleep. And if you wanted like a bit more fun that night, you had to sacrifice sleep. And so I'd be going to sleep specifically knowing that I'd be waking up tomorrow like sleep deprived, and I'd have to just pull myself out of bed because I need to make that £64 per day. And the job I was doing, I think the benefit obviously was that I had a gym in work, which I really valued, and the people around me were actually very nice people, but it was like a very like low skilled, unfulfilling job, just customer service shit. And so I got to work. I did a lot of introspective work at this point. This was the first time that I truly started journaling. Even this was like, you know, the height of my anxiety, height of my depression, height of the negative moments in my life. And I started journaling a lot. I did all the calculations, and I realized that if I went from full-time to part-time, because full-time I was just above minimum wage, so we can almost say minimum wage, but because I worked like 40 hours a week, my take-home pay was about like £15,000 per year. So the advertised rate of the job was like 17.5k, but after like tax and everything, it was about 15k. Like per month, I was getting about £1,200, £1,166. Still remember that. So I did the calculations, realized that wait, if I went part-time and I halved my hours, I would get not even half of the wage. Like I'd get more than half of the wage, because then I would be under where you pay tax and national insurance and everything. So I could half my hours, reduce my wage by about 30% instead of half, and then also have an extra 20 hours, but specifically not even the hours what mattered. It was about 2 to 3 days off extra to devote to the business. That's what I did. I wrote this ebook titled The Full-Time Job Trap, and it was like my way of expressing how I felt in almost a guide to someone who was stuck in the same position as me, who's working 40 hours a week, who had dreams of doing a business and actually reducing their work hours. And it still stands. I read all of it, every word of it, a couple months ago when I found it again. And if I can find it, I'll link it below. You can just have it for free. There was a term that maybe I didn't make up, but I didn't read it anywhere, so I essentially like found it by myself. But there's a term called lifestyle inflation, and everyone knows this. Lifestyle inflation is where when you make more money, you spend more money. Your spending just kind of adjusts depending on how much money you're making. Now everyone disagrees. Everyone's like the type of person who says, no, not me, I would save the money, but you wouldn't. If you were making £1,000, you'd spend roughly 1,000. Maybe you're saving 200, okay? But now if we then gave you £1,200 per month, your spending would go almost to the same level. Maybe you'd increase your saving by £50, something like that, maybe. But instantly when you get this little promotion, you're going to go out more. So that's lifestyle inflation. Now what I thought about during this time was lifestyle deflation, reducing your work hours and earning less. Because I thought about it and I was like, wait, if I earn less, I just spend less. And it kind of hit me, okay, wait, so I could earn less money today, this month, and the only trade-off would be that I would spend less. I was saying this while there was packs of weed around me, and I was thinking, okay, if I reduce my work hours, if I potentially try to like start a business, all I'm gonna be losing is this weed. All I'm gonna be losing is like the extra spending, because obviously I'm still gonna have to pay the bills. I'm still gonna have to pay like the absolute essentials. And so that's exactly what I did. I got a part-time job instead. I left my full-time job and I was working like 2-3 days per week. And even on my part-time job, I would take my laptop and I'd just do my business work there, and I started drop shipping, and I tried to be a rapper, and I wrote ebooks and everything. I was trying like all the online income methods. The answer was so clear in front of me all this time. Obviously it was YouTube, but it took me a little while to sort of like grasp that it was going to be YouTube that I did. So this was about 14-15 months ago. And since then I've devoted myself to this business. I've devoted myself to entrepreneurship. When I used to watch these type of videos, I used to watch them with envy, with jealousy, but also with distrust. It almost seems like the has to be lying to you when they start pulling out the figures and the pictures. It almost seems like, nah, they've got to edit the picture. Like, no one's making that much money, are they? Like, this guy, he used to make £8.41. How is he making this much money? But I don't know how I can verify anything with you, but I'm not someone who photoshops pictures or some shit. I'm just gonna show you exactly like little pictures of everything that I've made recently. So per hour, I used to make £8.41 in my customer service job and £9 in my part-time job. So I actually got a little bit of a pay rise from that position change as well. So £9 was the highest I've ever made in a job. Now, I don't consider anything under £100 per hour. £100 per hour. Sometimes it goes up to about 140. So it's about 100 to 140 I make per hour when I trade my time for money, when I'm doing one-to-one mentorship and coaching. And that's been like a pretty significant part of my income, my coaching and everything, but it's not like the best part. And I've realized recently that even £100 per hour, like, forgive me for not sounding grateful, but it's not really that great, because in 1 hour of my time and my sort of skills, my empathy and mental drain when, you know, you're taking on someone else's problem, I can make like 2 videos like this. And these 2 videos will of course be worth more than £100 over the next 1 to 2 years. So it's almost like the same debate again. You can see that I've got the same mindset where if I reduce this work hours now and instead just put it on more onto the business side of the, like, the passive income, the long-term growth, that's even better again. So what probably matters as a better figure is just kind of like how much I make per month. Now, I can only really tell you income. I'm not gonna lie, my money's kind of like all over the place right now and I need to get like an accountant or some shit. So this is just income. Assume that a couple thousand per month, not even that much honestly, but assume like maybe 1 to 2,000 is expenses. Like, the expenses I have is that I bought this camera a couple of months ago. So obviously a couple of months ago, this camera, £800 would have been in that month's expenses. Every month is probably about £700 to the video editor, Sam, something like that. And then like random like platform fees, so like probably like 1,000, we'll say 2,000. So I made the aesthetic body course, which is a video course which I sell for $200 in the pre-sale. So before the course was even made, before like anyone would even get anything of the course, I just kind of said like, oh, if you want to like pay me for it now, you can do. And obviously it was cheaper to do that if you wanted to buy it early. So in the pre-sale, I think I wanted to sell 10 copies of this course for $97 each, $970 total. And I'm pretty sure I sold like $5,000 worth, or just under $5,000, but about 4,000 in just the pre-sale. And now, so in the last 30 days I have made on this website, so I use one website to like track all my stuff. So in the last 30 days I've made $16,792, £12,146 Great British Sterling, and that is from my course and a couple of coaching clients. So $16,700. Skillshare, which is like this online learning community platform. It's kind of like YouTube, but like educational little classes that YouTubers make, and they pay me like a fair amount. So just a few days ago they sent me $1,000, which was completely passive. That was like quite literally, I haven't done a Skillshare class in like a long time, so it's just $1,000 just into my bank account. I didn't do anything for it. Next month, so in the month of August, they're going to be sending me about $3,000 more, just under $4,000 I've earned in July. YouTube last month paid me the standard like £60, £70 before my channel blew up and everything. And this month I haven't received it just yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be like 1,000 or something like that, because they'll pay me for June this month in July. And again, in August I'll get paid for July, and that's going to be like £3,000 to £4,000 as well. We can conclude, like, you can maybe add it all up or something, but I think in general we can just say that in the last 30 days I've made about close to $20,000. Maybe, you know, maybe a few thousand here and there, whatever. But like, you can tell my accountant's taxes and shit isn't exactly set just yet, so I need some motherfuckers to do that for me. I don't want this video to seem like I'm boasting or anything. I probably am a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, just because it's kind of new for me to be able to say this shit. But hearing the accounts of entrepreneurs who were saying this shit, who were saying that they were making this much money per hour and that their business was worth this much and the amount of freedom that they get from it, that's why I'm here today. And so that's what I wanted this video to be, to just show you, like, you've seen my developments. All of the videos are there as proof. Like, I was trash at YouTube when I started a year ago. Like, you can see how many, like, how bad the videos are. And a year of constant refinement of reading books specifically to level up my skills on camera, learning marketing and business and entrepreneurship and sales and copywriting, all the skills that went into this, and it popped. And you know, it's easy for one of us to say like, oh yeah, but it was luck, the YouTube algorithm, bless you. But it was like, it was bound to happen with the way that I was going. I don't think it was exactly, it was luck, but I don't think I'm ultra lucky. Does that make sense? So because 200 videos went into this and constant refinement went into this. And so what's honestly more important than the money? I've said that right now because that's what's more interesting to most people. But if you're more like me, you probably care more about the lifestyle that the money affords. Because I used to think this a lot. I used to think like, what's money if you hate your life? Then I don't care. Having had depression, having had no enjoyment in the day. I remember I used to ask myself the same question, and I asked people this question as well. Would you rather be the depressed millionaire or the happy broke man? Nothing can ever change. Happy broke man's always happy, no matter what. Depressed millionaire, no matter what, is always depressed. For me, happy broke guy any day. And so what matters more right now is like more like my mental well-being and the lifestyle that this has caused for me. And it's phenomenal. It's unrealistic. Now that I've affected millions of people have seen my videos, like 2 million people have seen my videos, but we can say like I've affected like a solid like 50,000 people, and I've potentially changed maybe 1,000 lives. Would you say that's like reasonable? I've got 65k subs, maybe 165th subscriber really resonated with my video. They took action on it and it changed something important in their life. That's scale plus value. And that's the equation that we talked about before. So that's what we're going to talk about now. The equation to wealth. There is other parts of this equation, but I'm not going to confuse you with that, because right now, to get started, you need to just know 2 words: value and scale. Value is just based on how much help you can give to a need. To make money is all just based on you fulfilling a need. So a need, it's kind of like a pain point that someone has in their life. So we can say a need is that people are fat, and so the need that they have is to become less fat. And so that is how personal trainers make their living. That's how dietitians make their living. That's how I've made a significant part of my living, because my videos are on stop being fat and stop being aesthetic. That's value, that's help. Now, we can say that someone, for example, a doctor, like in the UK, we have the NHS, the National Health Service, and we can say like the nurse in the NHS provides life-changing value. She does. But the issue here is scale, and this is why most careers will never make you wealthy. Because this nurse, for example, that we're talking about, she gives more value than I do. Per person, she gives more value. Like, she's there physically helping these people. I'm only just making these videos for, you know, for the audience. But she's physically there holding these people, helping them. So her value is higher, but she does not have scale. And without scale, she will never be able to make a great income. And now straight away, you're probably thinking, but well, you know what, like, but she's really helping, she's changing lives, so she doesn't, you know, that's the richness, like the richness comes from that. And yeah, fair enough. But you can do both. We'll get into this at some point soon, but I think the way to give even better value is to first explode your wealth. Because let's say a nurse can help X people per day. 30 people, 100 people, how many people she can humanely sort of visit in the hospital. So scale means how many people you can affect. And a nurse, or just anyone in their career, generally can't affect many people at all. Whether you're in customer service, you're a teacher, whatever it is, most normal careers, which are not internet based, have a very low scale. And that's why people who can give life-changing value in their careers, like doctors, never really make a huge amount of money. Like, everyone thinks, okay, you know, doctors make a lot. Not really. And not for the lifestyle that they have to put into it. So now imagine if this same nurse gave out advice online. She made TikToks for like kids and teenagers on how to wash your hands properly. Like, that's actually a sick idea. How to wash your hands properly, how to avoid COVID, how to check your symptoms, how to maximize your health, and, you know, in a way that she knew that like would appeal to the young uns. Suddenly she's affecting millions. Now she's got value plus scale. Now she's gonna get rich. So the way to hack money right now is to master social media. Like, I'm gonna give you the unsexy answer that you were kind of like, you knew the truth, but you just kind of didn't want to admit it because you want to be like a full-on red pill self-improvement, me no you social media. It's the truth. Social media is the best business opportunity there is right now. If you're into business, if you want the result of that, and you're willing to put in the work, there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be dominating and at least learning the ins and out of the platform that you choose. Because the reason why you haven't started, even though pretty much everyone has wanted to start some kind of social media business, whether it's a YouTube channel or you've wanted to pop off on Instagram or TikTok, the reason why you haven't started is simply because of laziness. Now, straight away, your lizard brain's going to disagree, and it's going to say, no, I'm not lazy. It's just that I'm not confident enough. I can't make good enough videos. But that is stupid. That's purely stupid, because what's happening is that you're looking at my videos today when I've got this YouTube set up and this is my 250th video. You're looking at these videos and saying, I can't be a YouTuber, I can't make a video like that. That is stupid. Or the other limiting belief, lizard brain bullshit that people bring up is that it's too saturated, which is complete BS. Something like social media cannot be saturated because the demand is sky high at the same time. It doesn't matter if it's saturated. It should not pop into your mind because you haven't even gave it a good shot yet. You're just kind of like looking from the sideline, saying anything you can so you don't have to delay any gratification and you can go back to your sweeties in your video games. So I'm gonna assume that you're not a little bitch and you're at least willing to give it a try, and I'm gonna give you a very, very quick process of starting and getting consistent and setting your pathway to make a living, and not even a living, let's be honest, to hack money in this way. First, choose the social media platform that you vibe with. So for me, it was YouTube. It was always going to be YouTube for me, but maybe you're a bit of a pedophile and you want to use TikTok or something. Then you're going to focus entirely on the person that you want to give value to. Remember, value is kind of like helping. Who could you help? Now, there's only one real answer for most young guys who, you're not let's be honest, you're not really good enough right now. You probably don't feel good enough to help most people. There's only really one person that you could help, and that's your younger self. And so you're going to structure every piece of content that you make aimed at your younger self, because you went through a problem when you were a little bit younger, and the problem maybe lasted for hours, days, weeks, months, but eventually you found the solution to that problem. And if someone else had that problem, if you were speaking to your younger self, you could almost give them the answer that saves them a significant amount of time, couldn't you? That's how you're going to base your videos from now on. And it's not exactly a secret, but that's been my method, and that's why you can often see a lot of videos on my channel of people saying oh, this is so relatable, this helps so much, Hamza. The reason why it helps so much is because you're exactly like younger Hamza. I speak to younger Hamza when I'm speaking to this camera. I'm imagining that I'm speaking to this little dumbass right now. And that's why my advice either completely works for you and you completely trust me and you almost look at me like I'm some kind of older brother who's wise and shit, or none of it really resonates with you because you're nothing like younger Hamza. Next, you're going to consistently post content aimed at this target audience, your younger self. So you're just going to give yourself a few minutes to sit around and think, okay, what problems was this dumbass facing months or years ago? Well, he wanted to get consistent in the gym, but he kept on skipping workouts because he just kind of didn't feel like it. Oh, I know. Maybe I can just drill in the same phrase at the end of every single one of my videos to remind him that you should be going to the gym even when you don't feel like it. He used to just overindulge in easy pleasures, and he never used to keep it in mind of what the consequence of those pleasures were. And so maybe I'll make videos where I talk about instant and delayed gratification so he understands that the instant easy pleasures actually make your future self's life harder. So many ideas. If you literally just sit there with no distraction for once in your life, stop trying to constantly multitask on your phone, bro. If you just sit there for a few minutes, automatically the ideas will come to mind where you'll think, wait, if my younger self heard this, it would have helped him so much. And next, you need to reduce your ego and you need to understand that you're not special. Although your mum's wrong, all of the you've heard in school is wrong, all of the stuff of you are a very unique person is complete BS. You're not unique, at all. You aren't special at all. And that's fantastic because that means that the problems that you are going through or that your younger self went through, millions of people are experiencing the same thing. Doing this business and appealing to younger Hamza has really taught me that we are not unique whatsoever. The exact same thoughts goes through everyone's mind because we consume the same media. And so we're so similar to each other that if you speak with as accurate attitude to your younger self as you can, you're going to find that you also appeal to millions of people, because millions of people, millions of young guys are exactly like your younger self. And now you just need consistency. You're going to post some content to the social media platform that you decided on at least once per week, maybe 2-3 times per week, every week for a couple of years, and your life will never be the same again. That's a quote from a YouTuber that I really like. What are you saying, Ali? And the final stage, which has really, really helped me, and it's the reason why I feel like I've gotten good at this stuff, is constant refinement, is the pursuit of mastering the skills that are involved. I've spent honestly a fair amount of effort just kind of being sat around. Sometimes it takes me almost the entire day or days to think what skills are being used here, because it's easy to think, okay, well, filmography, speaking. I've spent so much time diving deep into the specific skills of this. Social skills is the broad concept, but we can break social skills down into persuasion, into influence, into leadership, into charisma. And then I'm researching every single bit of this, and in charisma there's body language. So now I'm taking courses on body language, and I'm focusing and master this social media that you're on. Honestly, I know that mastering something sounds difficult, and it somewhat is, but it's gonna be one of the best things you ever do. And mastering does not simply just mean just go and post. Now that's awesome and you should be posting, consistently. But mastering really means that you take some time to be introspective and to really deeply think about what exactly you're doing here and what you need to do to become a success on this platform. Like that sometimes takes some like deep thought and some deep research. And when you do that, you've already shortcutted the process, because you're then in competition with the people who are literally just posting content and hoping to get viral. Whereas you're cracking the code of the behaviors, the attitude, the personality that you need to actually become the person, not just the random video, but the person who becomes popular on this platform. And when you're popular on a social media platform, bro, your life is set. You have to just don't do anything horribly stupid. Learn some basics of marketing, or just employ. At this point, you can pay to employ someone, and you are going to be financially free in a few years. There's nothing right now that a normal person can do to achieve financial freedom faster than social media. This is how you hack money in this modern age. Honestly, it's one of the most fun games that I've played so far. Like, I love this shit, bro. Like the fact that we've got, like, everyone's against this about, views and subscribers. Everyone's like, oh, don't do stuff for the views. Don't do, shut up, bro. Like, that's such a fun metric to just kind of like see the views go up, see the subscribers go up. It's like we're playing a game right now. Like, it's been made for you to master it. And if you take that one final last step of really thinking, okay, I'm going to master this social media, I'm going to see exactly what behaviors are required from me, exactly what this platform wants me to do to be good at it, you're well ahead of the curve. And that, coupled with the fact that you're giving value to your younger self, bro, that's value plus scale right there. You've just hacked the game of money. No more working for £8.41 per hour. If you want to do exactly what I do, if you want to do self-improvement YouTube videos, and you'd probably like to start the business of self-improvement coaching, which is pretty much just going on to like a Zoom call and just giving someone advice, then I wrote a little book that I'll link for free in the description. You don't even have to give me your email. I'll just link it as like a Google Doc or something. And it's called The Effective Coach's Handbook. Something like that. I don't even know why I wrote it, to be honest, but like I think I'll put like a good amount of effort into it. And if you want to do exactly what I'm doing with this business, just scroll down right now, go have a little read of that. And because it'll be really nice to see some other people implement the same strategies I've done here. Like I've paved this way. I didn't have the guy who was doing exactly the type of business before me. And so if you want exactly the same type of business as me, bro, copy exactly what worked for me. And everything that worked for me is in that little book that you can just have for free. So I hope that helps you. And bro, if that book or if this video even helps like one person achieve even slightly close to the transformation that I've had over the past few years, it's insane, man. I really, really do wish this for you. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.